Hello, folks. Welcome back to my channel. This is the world of TV shows, and today I have another episode review for Medium, and this time we'll be looking at the 11th episode of the second season called Method to His Madness. The episode originally aired on January the 2nd, 2006 on NBC. It was directed by Peter Warner and written by Robert Daugherty. So, what is this episode about? In a nutshell. So, this is one of the scariest, most gruesome, gnarliest episodes I've ever seen in the show so far. It was definitely creepy. So, in this episode, basically, Allison is having dreams that involve some kind of a serial killer who kidnaps young women and then proceeds to mutilating them. So this is pretty much how the main plot of the episode goes. It is definitely creepy and terrifying. And then as the episode goes on, Allison is going to start exhibiting some strange behavior that might be linked to her dreams and the serial killer themselves, right? It appears that she is kind of, you know, transforming into another person, a different person, that she's almost, under some weird, kind of possession case thing, to put it mildly, right? This is pretty much how it goes. So yeah, she starts to be, strange. She gets stranger and stranger as the episode goes on, and her husband Joe gets pretty worried, and so does. And he wants to basically. He's afraid for the girls, right? For their daughters. So, meanwhile, as far as the serial killer search goes, it turns out that, yes, there's going to be a discovery that is going to be made, and eventually, there's going to be a twist. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'll let you find out since I want to let you find out for yourselves. But basically, there's a twist at some point about that. But then it turns out that, there's something, that might, not be, things might not be what they appear to be. Let me put it like that, right? I know it's a little strange, but bear with me. This is pretty much the extent of what I can tell you without spoiling too much or anything like that. So, yeah, basically, there's something that something might have been misattributed to the serial killer. And Allison, is getting more and more convinced that, something is not right, oh, in all of that. So, yeah, I guess this is pretty much how it goes. And there's going to be another big discovery that is going to be made in the end. And it turns out that, something happened, something pretty, unexpected, right? Unexpected turn of events, if I do, if I do say so, myself, if I put it like that. Yes, it's weird, it's strange, but yes, it's not exactly what people thought would be happening. So this is pretty much how it goes. I guess this is all for the episode, so maybe we should move on to the cast of actors. So we have the main ones: Patricia Arquette, Miguel Sandoval, David Cubit, Sophia Vasileva, Theodore Lork, Jake Weber, and then we have the guest starring actresses. So we have an actors. Most of them are actresses, right? Sydney Walsh plays medical examiner. She's pretty good. I really liked her. Then we have Jenny Mollen, who plays Lydia Kine, who is one of the girls, working at a bar at some point, I believe. We have Rachel C. Smith, who plays Kathy Summers. Kathy. Then we have, who was at the beginning at some point, and there's a scene involving her with a a car broke down, and basically she's stranded in the middle of that road in the middle of the night. It's pretty ominous, and what happens afterwards is even worse. Then we have Elizabeth Hendrickson, who plays Mindy, who works at a supermarket, and at some point, there's some kind of relevance to her. I'll let you find out for yourselves how in the episode. Then we have Lisa J, who plays Patricia Gilmartin. Then we have Benjamin Mountain, who plays Stickman, and Cheyenne Wilbur, who plays a man. And then we have Madison Curbelo and Miranda, who plays Marie, who is Allison's youngest daughter. So yeah, most of them are pretty awesome. I really enjoyed Sydney Walsh as well as Elizabeth Hendrickson. They were pretty good as guest starring actresses, as well as Rachel C. Smith. But yeah, all three of them were pretty good. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, even though I have to say it was very difficult to see, especially in some scenes. There are so many different. There are so many scary scenes in there, especially the mutilation scenes, and this serial killer is so out of their minds. They think that they're doing some kind of artwork, on these, and that the people are like canvases, their skins. It's absolutely sick. So I think that this is, medium does get, very dark, very twisted at times, in terms of plots. This is what I like about the show. You don't know what to expect, and it can be pretty gory, pretty bloody, pretty terrifying with all the body horror and all of that. So this is definitely one of the episodes that definitely would scare the average viewer. And this is pretty much why it's airing so late on NBC at 10 p.m. because of how, 10/9 Central, I believe, because of how terrifying and scary it can be. And people who watch it with their families might, not want them to, might not want the little ones to see that. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite episodes of the show, nevertheless. And yeah, most of these actors and actresses did an awesome job. They really pulled all the stops. And yeah, my favorite scenes being, the one at the beginning with the car breaking down, and you have this woman who's, alone, and then you have this individual picks her up. And yeah, actually, what I really liked about this episode too, now that I'm thinking about it, is the fact that Allison is basically, we see everything through Allison's eyes. It's like she sees herself as the serial killer. I thought that this was a pretty interesting thing. In the show, sometimes you do have Allison who sees herself. So she doesn't know who this guy is. She's basically she identifies with them. She's them. She's playing them. She's being them. I think that this is an interesting concept in the show that keeps reoccurring in a few episodes, if I'm not mistaken. She basically, takes, part of them, so to speak. She becomes them. I don't know really how to put it, but I think that this was an interesting thing, in this episode. So really enjoyed it. So if I were to rate this episode on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd definitely give it a solid, maybe a 9 out of 10. It was a pretty good episode, despite all of its gruesomeness and its scariness and its, share of horrible, terrifying things. It's still an episode that definitely holds up, in my opinion. And this is the 11th episode of the second season, the first one to being aired in 2006. So this is when the shows resume in January. And it's January now, so we basically are doing the same thing, right? And it's 2026, 20 years ago, the episode was aired, so I like that. So yeah, really enjoyed this episode up until the very end with a big discovery. And I liked the kind of relevance, ME. I let you find out for yourselves what it is and how exactly it, there's a hidden message there, but I let you find out for yourselves what exactly it is, but I really enjoyed that. So really enjoyed this episode. 9 out of 10 for me for this episode. Method to his madness. Really like the title of the episode too. It's really interesting. Method to his madness, you know. Either some kind of wisdom in being mad or something. But yeah, really enjoyed it. So 9 out of 10 for me for this 11th episode of the second season. Really loved it up until the very end. Definitely a lot of scares. Some stalking there, here and there at some point with Allison. Some, really, some smoking, some really scary, unusual behavior. But really enjoyed it. 9 out of 10 for me. And at some point I didn't mention it, but there's a scene involving a casino and craps, and there's another discovery to be made. So 9 out of 10 for me for this episode. Awesome and loved it up until the very end. 9 out of 10. What about you, folks? What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next review. In the meantime, folks, stay safe. Goodbye. Take care. This is the World of TV Show signing off.